I just want to share with you a couple minutes and interject.
Go ahead.
Right. So Clayton gets appointed immediately. He is called
Clayton is former SEC chair.
Former SEC chair Jay Clayton. Immediately, he's described by Rolling Stone magazine as the most conflicted SEC chairman in the history of the United States because of his connection to the banks and the Wall Streets. At his confirmation hearing, him and Elizabeth Warren go back. He agrees that he should recuse himself, that he should never vote against one of his clients having an enforcement action. Like, he has to step back, right? So that goes on. He gets his good friend William Hinman to become the director of corporation and finance. These guys are heavily connected. They were the main sponsors of Alibaba IPO and many other types of IPOs. Bill Hinman comes in. Jay Clayton is from firm Sullivan and Cromwell, okay? And Bill Hinman is from Simpson Thacher. Well, immediately in December of 2017, Sullivan and Cromwell represents the co-founder of Ethereum, Joe Lubin, and Consensus. And Bill Hinman has a meeting with them, and they start talking. Immediately, the very next day, Consensus general counsel gets up and starts talking about how they're building this alliance with the SEC. They go on to have 4 to 5 more meetings with Consensus and the co-founders of Ether with Bill Hinman. Bill Hinman's firm is a member.
Just so I can track it. So you have a private law firm, the Ethereum, and then you have the SEC all together in meetings?
Right. What you have is you have the co-founder of Ethereum, Joe Lubin, and the founder of Consensus meeting with SEC, Bill Hinman, and his firm is a member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance.
To what end? In what capacity? What was the reasoning for the meeting?
I think he's getting to it.
The reason for the meeting is because they start lobbying for a Ethereum free pass. Right? They want to say, hey, Ethereum, we maybe did an ICO because it was the world's first ICO, but it's sufficiently decentralized. So Jay Clayton then tells Andreessen Horowitz, which is a huge investor in crypto, right? They have the $2.2 billion fund, big Ether backers. He says, write a memo up for us and tell us what you want. They write a memo and a safe harbor proposal. There are multiple meetings that take place. A secret meeting in March of 28th of 2018, and it gets leaked because there's some stuff going on in there. And they propose a safe harbor for crypto, but the only crypto they mention is Ether. And then what happens on June 14th, 2018, Bill Hinman, gratuitously as Director of Corporation and Finance, very high up at the SEC, gives his infamous speech where he says, setting aside the fundraising that took place with Ether, it is sufficiently decentralized today, and therefore current sales of Ethereum are no longer considered a security. He goes on CNBC and he says, well, when we look at Ethereum, we don't see a third-party promoter. You just had a meeting with him.
It's a backroom deal.
You just had meetings with him. He had a meeting on June 8th. 6 days before the speech, he had a meeting with the promoter. So he gets up there and says, we don't see it.
In criminal law, this sounds like a proffer meeting almost.
And then, absolutely. Then all the people start asking, well, what about XRP? XRP was actually number 2 at the time behind Bitcoin, and it was battling Ether for the number 2 spot. Oh, we're not going to comment on any further tokens. Joe Lubin then goes out and starts basically saying what the SEC is going to do. He says, we're working with the SEC. They gave Ether a pass. They gave Bitcoin a pass. All these other coins, he literally says this, are absolutely spectacularly disadvantaged compared to Ether. They didn't mention XRP. That's very interesting. He says the SEC is going to be coming after certain projects. All of this takes place, right? In the meantime, Bill Hinman is collecting $15 million from his law firm while he's at the SEC, which is a member of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, right? Sullivan and Cromwell, which represents Jay Clayton's firm, that's his firm, they represent Consensus and the co-founder of Ethereum.
Wow.
Right? All of that's going down. Now, listen to this. Just before the lawsuit happens, now in the meantime, Ripple's allowed to buy 9% of MoneyGram and use XRP. It's actually, they're giving it to MoneyGram, who's then selling it on exchanges for dollars. Coinbase in January of 2019 goes to the SEC and says, look, our securities lawyers have decided that XRP is not a security. We want to list it. What do you say, SEC? SEC doesn't say anything. 1 month later, XRP is listed on Coinbase. Then, in October, One River comes out and they make a $1 billion bet on Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's in October. And also, Consensus decides that they're going to buy Quorum, which is a competitor to Ripple. They're trying to replace SWIFT, the messaging and money banking system, basically, which is what Ripple was completely focused on. And then on the last day, you've got, on a 3-2 vote, who does Clayton go with? He goes with the 2 Democrats, even though he's a Republican. Votes to file the suit against Ripple as he's walking out the door. His excuse has been reported, well, he deferred to the staff. The director of enforcement leaves 3 weeks later to go to Simpson and Thatcher. Clayton left. Bill Hinman left. All of these senior people who were supposed to foresee this case, right, and see it through, all leave. 2 weeks before what I mentioned earlier, before this happens, Joseph Grunfest, former SEC commissioner who helped Ethereum, writes, and I got the letter here, writes to Clayton and the commissioners and says, listen, you've never made a material distinction between Ether and XRP. If XRP is a security, Ether's a security. If you're going to allow XRP, Ether to be traded, you got to let them trade it. He even goes as far
I got
as
15 million reasons why that's not true.
He goes as far as to say, if you file this lawsuit, it calls into question the commission's discretion.
This is like a damn John Grisham novel,
Right?
man.
He says that. And so what happens? Jay Clayton votes for the lawsuit. The 2 Democrats vote for it. The lawsuit's filed. They all leave. Jay Clayton goes to One River, Bitcoin and Ether. And guess what? The people that helped write the Hinman speech, and by the way, these are all facts. On Crypto Law, we have a video library of all these interviews.
You're getting dangerously close to making an allegation here.
All right, and I will tell you, they basically come out and Bill Hinman now works. He's a partner with the Ether investors who helped write the speech that gave Ether a free pass. And that's not an allegation, that's facts, because lawyers who are part of the meeting have come out and said, I didn't think Ether was sufficiently decentralized, but Bill Hinman did. I'm not sure why he did. 15 million reasons might tell you why, being a partner at a 2.2 billion. So here's the thing about allegation. I'm not saying that they broke a law, but what I'm saying, tell me there's not enough for an independent investigation. That's all we want. We want an independent investigation. In the meantime, don't take John Deaton's word for it. An independent organization in power is in litigation with the SEC because they won't turn over documents. They won't give us Bill Hinman's calendar. How is a guy who's being paid by tax dollars, director of corporation finance, they won't give us his calendar to who he met, when he met. They won't release it. This independent organization that sued the SEC asked for any ethics discussions between Clayton and the SEC about his post-employment. Hinman, they say there's no documents or they won't give the documents.
Even Freedom of Information Act, they won't give it?
Right.
They're going to do 75 years now for the Freedom of Information?
Right. And so that's all in litigation, but that's what's going on. You know what I mean? And so what I'm doing is saying, listen, you want to go after Ripple, go after Ripple. Go after Brad Garlinghouse. I don't care. But you are destroying people's lives by attacking the token itself. And why did you allow the MoneyGram to happen? Why did you allow Coinbase to do it? How does Coinbase go in there and say, we're going to list XRP unless you tell us otherwise? And then they don't, and they list it. And then 18 months later, as he's walking out the door, he slaps a lawsuit.
They weren't told no yet.
Right, but it's what I'm saying. And so,
let me ask you, who hates, if you were to make a list of people who hate XRP, who would you say hate XRP? Not dislike, who hate it?
Joe Lubin, who is the co-founder of Ethereum, the founder of Consensus. We have him on video saying XRP is overvalued, XRP is a shitcoin, XRP this, XRP is not a competitor, and so we're not worried about it. The day of the Hinman speech where he gave Ether the free pass, Joe Lubin goes on the same stage right after Bill Hinman, and he says these words. He says, oh, by the way, I didn't get to read all of the speech. Did they bring up XRP? And the moderator goes, no. He goes, well, isn't that interesting, right? He goes on later in interviews to say that the SEC is going to be coming after certain projects, and he hints that it's going to be XRP. And the thing that that you have to understand is the guy who's saying XRP is not a competitor, XRP is not a competitor. Why is it the first token you bring up after you're given the free pass? And the other thing that the SEC won't give us is, did you know that 63 emails went out with that draft speech that gave Ether a free pass? Do you know who was the only commissioner to get a draft version of it?
Who's that?
Jay Clayton. Did you know Crypto Mom herself, Hester Peirce, never saw it? How do you draft this?
Why would Clayton even be involved in that draft? Why would he even?
He gave input. He's the only commissioner. Bill Hinman was deposed. Ripple was successful in getting him deposed. Of course, they redact everything to the public. And I have it here if you want to see it. The lawyers ask him, did you ever represent...
How much is redacted?
Ethereum, 90%.
Can I see? This goes to Pat. You were telling a story a couple weeks back about you were at Harvard and you said that there was a guy who was having trouble.
He said just find a congressman, pay him $500,000.
That was it.
He's going through an election and he'll help you put up a law to hurt them.
This is it.
Yeah.
Now,
in action.
He's asked questions like, have you ever worked for Ethereum Foundation? Look at the answers.
Look at the redactions.
All right, and this isn't the whole. This isn't.
Look at this.
This isn't the whole lawsuit.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Right?
This is insane.
Now, why would they redact, Pat, if he's asked a question, have you ever had clients that are part of the Ethereum Foundation? If I represent you and your business, I can't talk about what we talk about.
John, is this public record?
No, it was an exhibit that's public record.
Can we show this or no?
Oh, yes, you can show it.
So
Absolutely.
So I don't know if people can see this.
And
but
it's pages of that.
This is an entire page of every single word on the page redacted, and there's pages of it.
This is your transparent Securities Exchange Commission.
Holy moly!
You were going somewhere. You were going somewhere about this. Why they would do this?
Well, what I was saying is it's not even privileged. There's no reason to redact it. Someone could ask me, are you the lawyer for Pat? I say, sure. I'm not going to tell you what we talk about. But it's not, I can't say, you know what I mean? These firms brag. If you go on his firm, Simpson Thatcher, they'll brag. We represent Google. We represent Yahoo. We were part of the Alibaba IPO. They brag about who their clients are. But in a deposition on taxpayer dollars, we can't get to know what your conflicts were.
This shit gets me fired up, man. Because what do you do? What do you do as a citizen? You're trying to live your life. You're trying to play by the rules. They're setting the rules. You're trying to play by the rules. And then they come, and whenever they want, they change them, and then you get no recourse.
The way you feel right now is the way I felt on Christmas Eve this time last year. I felt just like that, and that's why I filed the lawsuit.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.